Next sphira in line that we're going to be counting is Netzach of Yesod. And Yesod, as I mentioned in many times, is a brit, a covenant. And when you're making a covenant, when you're going into a covenant, you want it to be eternal. You're not going into a partnership by saying, in 2 years we're breaking this partnership. Most people, I actually never heard of anyone that is getting married and saying this marriage is going to be for 3 years. After 3 years, we're canceling the marriage. When you're going into the marriage, you're saying this, I'm going to love you forever and ever. You're going into a partnership, same thing with a partnership. You don't go into a partnership and saying, you know, this partnership will work very well for 2 years, then we're breaking it all up. Unless from advance you're saying, okay, yeah, I am going into a certain partnership, I am doing this business, they're going to provide this service, we're going to work with each other for 1 year. That's a business. When you're going into any type of relationship or covenant, you're going to it already in the back of your mind, this is going to be eternal. It's going to be forever. Now, especially if you're going to looking at marriage, you want the connection to be eternal. You want the connection to be forever. What do I have to do that this connection should be forever? I have to do something. I can't just sit there and do nothing. Then, in order for the connection to be eternal, there has to be one quality that unfortunately most people fail to do, and it's called loyalty. No loyalty, the connection will never be eternal. And eternal, I know it sounds like a fairy tale, forever and ever. That's not what I'm talking about. But even let's change it even for 40 years, 50 years. If there's not loyalty in a relationship, the relationship will never continue and never sustain. So it has to be what's called ne'emanut muchletet, complete loyalty. That's the key to having an everlasting relationship. If you're looking at marriage, no loyalty, the marriage will never last. Business, no loyalty between the two partners, it will never last. The only thing that will build a healthy, strong relationship is, again, this quality that is called loyalty. This is Netzach of Yesod. Yesod is the brit, is the commitment, the relationship. And Netzach comes from the word nitzchiyut, even though I know last week when we learned Netzach, I kept saying nitzachon, victory, but Netzach can also be nitzchiyut, eternal. And the Netzach of Yesod is the eternal part, or the everlasting part of our relationship. Why? Because we are devoted to each other. And this is called loyalty. If I'm loyal to my wife, I'm devoted to my wife, then I'm not going to look around, I'm not going to have any other agenda. I'm loyal. There's loyalty, the relationship will sustain. The more there is loyalty, then more the relationship is better. If you're looking at it in a wedding, the more there's loyalty between the couple, the better the marriage is. And sometimes people look into a relationship and they don't understand, how come I'm not happy in my marriage? People say, okay, maybe you're not loyal. Something's going on there that you're not happy. So the more a person is applying this loyalty, the more happy the marriage will be, or any other relationship. And we know, I said that Yesod, the Sphira Yesod is the brit, is the covenant, is the connection. But Yesod is also a foundation. And a foundation, if the foundation is strong, the whole building will stand straight and strong. So the foundation of the building is promising how stable the building will be. So if the foundation is strong, the whole structure will be strong. The loyalty will promise that the relationship, that the foundation will be strong. I can build now a strong foundation, and it will stand there forever. But what will be the cause, I'm talking now not in a building, in a relationship, what will be the cause that the foundation will stay strong is the loyalty. This is what it all boils down to. So, how do you express in the most profound way loyalty? You have to express it in some way. And that's by doing an oath. When you want to express really loyalty, then you take an oath on yourself. What's called in Hebrew, Shvuat Emunim. Shvuat Emunim, I don't know in English, I mean the closest that I found in English is oath of allegiance. Or allegiance, how do you say allegiance? This is Shvuat Emunim, that I take on myself an oath that I will be loyal forever. That's the way how you express this loyalty. But nevertheless, when there's no loyalty, there's no stability. You can take it into a marriage, into business, into any type of relationship. This is the key to the foundation for the relationship to be everlasting. And like I said before, you're going into a relationship, you're not looking to have a short relationship. You're looking for it to be strong and solid. What's the key to that? And again, that's the oath. Now, practically saying, when we're looking into the Sphira itself, then I have to constantly ask, in every relationship, am I loyal here? And you'll see that in many relationships, your loyalty might be questioned. Because you have a relationship with your wife, you have a relationship with your partner, you have a relationship with your kids, your neighbors, your friends, and many other people. Now you want to ask yourself, in every relationship, you have to see, if the relationship is going very smooth, good, then you have no problem. If the relationship is not going smooth and there's some issues, then you have to question, what is causing these issues? Then that's where you want to ask yourself, am I really loyal in this relationship? And loyalty doesn't mean that a husband goes and cheats on his wife. That's one way how you can be not loyal. But look how so many times a parent can tell the child many things, I'll do this, I'll do that, and they don't do it. I'll come and pick you up at 4, I'll come and see you playing your game, or whatever. How many times a parent promises things to the child and they don't do it? So you're breaking your loyalty. Now the child says, my father is not loyal. He said he'll be here, he's not here. He said he'll support me, he's not. So the key to understand here is that in this specific week of Yesod, we want to concentrate on relationships. Because most people, that's how we started the week, I mentioned in a sad way that most people have bad relationships. Bad marriages, bad relationships with their parents, bad relationships with their spouses and siblings. That shouldn't be like this. So again, like I said before, if a person, all the relationships are bad, then the person needs to put a finger on themselves and says, maybe I am the problem if all the relationships are bad. But if some are good, some are less, then I have to see what is the cause that in my relationships, they're not going so well. A big part of my refinement, my tikkun of the nefesh, is how I relate with other people. So the next class we're going to take about the weekly parasha, we're going to talk about it a lot, because I'm constantly surrounded with people. And I spoke about it in the beginning of the week, that a big part of tikkun hamidot is specifically that people, tikkun hamidot means the refinement of character, is specifically when people are around me to push all the right buttons. If I would be on a deserted island, happy as can be, but nobody will be around me, I will never refine myself, because nobody will bother me. So I will never get upset, I will never get anxious, I will never be impatient, I can't be judgmental. Who am I going to be judgmental? The tree. So on purpose, the Kadosh Baruch Hu created us together, one inside others' business, other people's business. If Hashem would want us to do that, then He would put us on 7 billion islands. We would wave to each other in the morning, and that's it. Live your life. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu puts us in a condensed area. Why? So you can trigger the midah in me of anger, and you will trigger the attribute in me and being patient. And this person will trigger in me how judgmental I am, and this person will trigger in me jealousy and so forth, just that I can constantly be battling these midot and refining them. That I can see something repetitively coming and coming and coming, and I work on myself not to get angry, not to get judgmental, not to be impatient, not to be jealous, and so forth. So when it comes to relationships, relationships are a big part of our life. If you have a fight in the morning with your wife or your kids, the whole day is messed up. You leave the home angry, slam the door, then the whole day. Now in the car you'll scream at everybody, at the job you'll scream at everybody. So relationship is a very profound and big part of my life. So specifically when it comes to the week of Yesod, that's where I have to focus now. How am I now making relationships better? And when it comes to a point that a relationship is not so good, and I'm looking for a way to analyze it and to see why is it not good, then I have to look constantly, am I loyal in this relationship? Is this relationship is good or not good? Whether I'm loyal or am I not loyal? So Bezrat Hashem, when I want to practically apply that, then constantly I have to ask myself, Am I loyal in this relationship? And you question yourself. You don't question yourself, and of course it has to be done in a healthy way, not in an OCD way that you're constantly pounding on yourself. To ask yourself in a healthy way, am I loyal here? And loyal doesn't mean that you're going and cheating on the person. Sometimes when you promise something over and over and you don't do it, that's not being loyal. And sometimes you can easily break any promise and loyalty when you're not following through.